podcast that goes over stories you don't care about and gets opinions from people you probably don't know who we are. But either way, we guess who the piece of shit is. It's not you. You're wonderful. You're watching. It's not Silk City Hot Sauce. They're the sauce that you should get for the holiday season. Order it now. Give it out for Christmas. It's wonderful. Go to their site. Why should I talk? Whenever I talk, I bring up pedophiles. And people are probably like, hey, we stopped buying the sauce once you did that. I've noticed that. Once I started going deep into every week doing the pedophile thing, we stopped doing the sales so much through our channel. So how about just this? It's the Christmas gift that people will love, especially for the people that you don't really know. Office parties, things of that nature. If you want to get them something that's cool, go to the site, silkcityhotsauce.com. Incredible different flavors and stuff like that. Awesome artwork on the front. So many flavors and varieties. You can buy 6-pack packs, give it to people you do like. Stocking stuffers, it's great. All kinds of people. People you like, people you don't, whatever. It's just a cool thing. Get it for yourself. Go there, use the promo code POS, save 15%. Boom. You are the Santa. You are the bitch. I don't know if that's a good thing. I don't know what I was saying. But anyway, go on there, do that thing. Go. 2 thumbs. Bobby, take it away.
Yeah, and if you are a pedophile, use it to stuff somebody's stocking instead of stuffing a child this year.
Always stuck a stocking without a kid in it.
Yeah, stuff it all you want as long as it's not a child. And joining us this week is a local regular. It's a local favorite. It's a POS best of guest. And probably one of the best smooth talkers we've got because he somehow convinced a woman to go into the woods with him. It's Brandon Smith, everybody.
What if she was already in the woods and that was her address?
That would actually, with most people, Pat, I'd look at you and go, that's a ridiculous premise. With Brandon, that's probably what happened. It was a wood nymph fairy spirit, and she showed him the light.
Every time she would say, like, will you do this? I'm like, would you? And then point to woods. She's like, all right, stop. Like,
I got some wood for you right here, babe.
No, that's creepy.
I'm a creep.
So, Brandon, how are you?
Oh, I'm lovely. Just getting over a little bit of seasonal detoxification, I guess you could say. A little head cold or whatever, but I'm doing really well.
You're not contagious, are you? I can't get sick. I got a big weekend.
No, I think you're good.
Yeah. I like how you call them local and you're like far away. You're not local.
Of the three of us.
To something.
Local to this Zoom meeting.
Local to the zoo.
Where are you, New York?
I am.
Oh.
It would be fun if there was a band who was like,
Concrete jungles where dreams are made of.
I was going to say it would be funny if there was a band who was like, yeah, we do soft rock. Welcome to the zoo. we got fun and games.
We got cornhole and twister.
Yeah.
Those are games.
You can get a hot dog really for a reasonable price.
And one of those popsicles they only sell at the zoo and 7-Eleven for some reason. Like 7-Eleven somehow has a merchandising deal with the zoo, but they couldn't say that because Indian people and monkeys don't have a great history.
Their history is not bad. They're not the winners in it, but the history they're in is exciting.
I mean, the monkeys are...
I was going to say, I think of Indiana Jones, chilled monkey brains.
We've done several stories about monkeys throwing people off of roofs in India. Like grabbing children and tossing them. So
I don't have any of those today, though.
That's okay. We've got some fun ones for Brandon in particular. I think we should redo that last story with him.
Yeah, that could work. Because I would like Brandon's take on that. Why don't we go right to a story? We don't do that. Why don't we go to a story right away? And for people listening, no, that doesn't mean Brandon's a bad guest. I know I usually do that for bad guests, but when Bobby brought it up, I would do it, and then we have banter. So that's why I'm doing it.
The story of a girl who cried a river and drowned the whole world.
Fuck. When she smiles.
And while she looks so sad in photographs.
Absolutely love her. When
she smiled.
She smiles.
How many days in the year? Oh, we're not doing the whole song. My bad.
Oh, you can? No.
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 I could. How many days in the year do you wake up with hope, but you only find tears? How many in life? We're good.
You can't mutter. You got to fucking rock.
I was trying to go fast. Her clothes never wear as well the next day, and your hair never falls in quite the same way. We've lost our entire audience by now.
I'll get them back with this. That reminded before I get to this story. You said that and it made me think karaoke, and then I was like, oh, that's I can think of a pun of someone's name, and that reminded me of what happened. Saturday I had a comedy show at the place I've been putting shows on at Retro, and the owner of the place, you know him, Brandon, Gary Patinella. Gary's been doing comedy for a long time, and now he owns that place. He has good food there. Pizza, pub fare, but also like dinner dishes like fish and things like that. But it's a little bit Italian based. Okay. So there's another comic who was there on my show, and he was eating, a guy named Matt Lopes. And Matt was chatting with Gary. And then Matt turns to me as I walked away for a while. I came back. He goes, Hey, Pat, ask Gary what he calls his spaghetti sauce. I was like, what? He goes, Garanera. And it's on the menu.
You love that, didn't you?
Yeah, I said, get away from me, but I laughed and smiled.
It's your favorite bun in the world.
Yeah, and I was like, so do you make it? He's like, no. I'm like, you know, so it's just, you just named someone else's sauce.
Yo, they don't have, once it enters the restaurant, Pat, I own it and I can call it whatever I like.
Garanera.
How dare you?
So, Brandon, I was at an open mic last night with Dan Cowhite, and I happened to tell him that. His whole open mic set was on Garanera sauce. It was like great, like everything he went into about how awful that is and what's worse than that. It was just so fucking. The guy just rolled. It was great.
Yeah, it's great. Make fun of the Italian mobster in the town. See how that goes over for you.
He's a good man. Anyway, Bobby and I did this story with Mike O'Donnell. So if you watch that one,
he's like, "Hey, I put a Gare's head in your bed. Still think it's funny, asshole?"
Here's the Gare Bear stare. How you like that shit? But Brandon, we would like your take on this. A Thai Buddhist temple emptied after all the monks test positive for meth. It's a bad habit. Yeah, I'll do the pun again. That was what they wrote. It's a bad habit.
Nice.
4 Buddhist monks in Thailand have been shipped off to rehab after they all tested positive for meth. The holy men, including the temple's abbot or head monk, failed the drug test in a province Bung Sam Phan district on Monday. The temple is now empty of monks, and nearby villagers are concerned they can't do any merit making. Brandon, do you know what merit making is?
Not exactly.
The town people donate food to the monks and to get merit with the religion and all that. So they can't donate to anyone if there's no monks there, and therefore they're not doing their deed in their religion.
Gotcha.
Because they're all on meth and gone. Police forced the monks to undergo urine tests after they raided the temple as part of the province's crackdown on drugs. The monks, who haven't been named, have since been sent to a health clinic to undergo drug rehabilitation. They were also immediately booted from the monkhood in the wake of their positive tests, leaving their tiny temple without any religious monks. And then explains, merit making is a Buddhist practice that involves followers donating food to monks as a good deed. My favorite sentence, I said it last, I'll say it again. Backup monks are being sent to the temple. I love that there's backup monks. So villagers can practice their religious obligations, the official said. It's like when a comic, Bob, we talked about that last show, but like when a comic goes to like hope to get a spot and he's sitting in the back and then one comic doesn't show up. He's like, backup monk, you're doing 10. He's like, all right, nice.
And
like,
backup monk, you're eating some rice and beans. Get in there.
You know, there's some parent at home teaching his kid a life lesson based off of it. Like, that monk didn't think he was going to get to play today, but he showed up ready to go.
The little backup monk that could. That's a great story that you make. Thelonious backup monk.
Are they auditioning for new monks? I say we do it. You're already bald, and I know. I just let me talk. We'll say you have a vial.
I'm real loud. I don't like meth.
Well, yeah, that's the key. You just eat the food. You don't do the meth.
But see, once I get to the next part, you'll understand why.
Oh, okay.
It wasn't immediately clear if any drugs were also found stashed in the temple. Thailand is a major transit country for methamphetamine flooding in, and for neighboring nations, and pills sell for as little as 50 cents on the street. So monks couldn't resist 50-cent meth. That's too good of a deal.
Well, also, like, the best heroin comes out of that area, from what I understand. Like, it's really pure. So it's amazing that they're doing meth instead of heroin or whatever that is.
If you find
opium.
Meth's doing monk confusing, wait till I tell you about the ladies.
By the way, if you said that in the proper order, it would have been better.
What?
You said if you find Meth's doing monk.
It's been a long day.
You've been on meth. I'm going to ask, once again, here comes our favorite segment, Pat's ignorant to drugs and ladies. So here we go again. Brandon or Bobby, either one. This is a real question. What makes heroin pure?
Well, heroin comes from the poppy plant. That's opium. It's made, all this stuff.
Poppies, now they'll
Morphium.
sleep.
Morphium. Did I say that right? Morphium.
You were thinking of
Morphium
Morpheus.
time.
Morpheusum. I think I just made a new drug. Oh, shit.
Or a religion.
Yeah.
You can smoke the opium and go back to the regular world, or you can convert it to heroin and inject it and enter the matrix.
So heroin's is a plant.
Yeah.
Well, the heroin's not a
Eventually.
plant, but it's from a plant.
Yeah.
It's liquid from a plant, or it's crushed up seed.
I believe it's from I'm not exactly sure, but I think it's from the flowers that it makes.
Then they
I hate I'm
grind it
going to
into
say
a
this, but
powder.
this is one of the few shows where I can say this. So many of our listeners are yelling out, "You don't know what heroin is," because that's our listeners. Whatever, Pat. You don't know how heroin's made.
You don't know about heroin? Yeah, I'm pretty
Oh.
sure
So,
there's like a
so
liquid.
what makes it pure, Pat, is once you get it to the United States, right? Let's say Brandon and I wanted to buy, I don't really know the weight of heroin, but a
like
pound.
25 pounds.
I'll
Yeah.
have 2 heroines, please.
We'll keep
Exactly.
it in simple terms. We'll keep it a pound. A pound of heroin costs $100. We can break it up and make us profit of what? $100 maybe if we sell it in smaller things for a higher price. Or we could cut it with baby powder or fentanyl is a cheap alternative people
Oh,
often
no,
use.
I understand that.
So
I understand how
that's what-
Americans put shit in there.
But that's what makes it less pure.
Well,
So
I-
it comes directly from Thailand is how you get pure heroin.
right.
Because
but
that means it hasn't.
I guess that was my question. I probably worded it wrong. Not what is pure. I didn't know heroin was made, but that helped there too. I kind of meant more like, why wouldn't they do it? Why would I know it's there already, so it doesn't have to ship out. But why are they selling it pure and not cutting it up? They're only getting 50 cents for it. So therefore, why wouldn't
It's-
you fucking cut it up so you make money? They're the ones who need more money. They're getting 50 cents.
It's the first leg of the journey. So it's so abundant there that you can just get it and sell it for that price. Anybody can get it. It's not exclusive. There
Not
isn't really
monks.
like a black market. And like each step along the way, it gets smuggled somehow. So
Is it
let's
hard
say
to
it's,
get heroin?
no.
I don't think so.
No.
I mean, like here.
I don't think so.
Like if you're someone who likes heroin, I'm sure it's easy, right?
Yeah.
Pure would be tough though.
Yeah.
No, I'm
sure
just
would be
saying
tough.
in general, heroin.
Yeah.
I wouldn't know where to go for heroin.
Bridgeport?
But I can't just go and say, hello, I would like some heroin. Like, I
One
wouldn't-
heroin, please.
It's the
I-
gentleman standing like this.
a Chinese guy greeting me to a buffet. Oh, nodding guy. No, he does the heroin. He's not going to give it to me.
Yeah, you go, hey, where'd you get the shit that made you stand like that? And he points to a guy.
Would he help? I thought he would want more heroin for him.
Yeah, you're not going to do it by yourself. What are you, a selfish prick?
Is heroin a friend drug?
Yeah, you got to make sure you don't sleep on your side. Or you sleep
Oh,
on
I
your
thought
side.
heroin was a loner drug.
Oh, I guess it could be both, just depending on your own
It's
personality.
not a party drug, right? You don't party on heroin.
You don't party on heroin.
No, but you're not really. Your life is like terrible. Right? I've never met anybody who's at a party like, how you doing? I'm on heroin. Like, no, you know what I mean? Like,
I
we're
think
just doing heroin right now.
Shane Gillis is doing a couple of bits now about his sister being on heroin. So I
Yeah,
don't feel
I've
like
heard
I'm
those.
stepping on any toes. But like, he was like, yeah, there are signs like they like to nap a lot. They'll be like mid sentence, be like, I need a nap.
But I do that,
I
but I'm
had
also 48.
I worked at a car dealership, and the finance manager was, I guess, either on heroin or something, and he would just like fall asleep while you were talking to him. Like customers would be in there talking to him, and he would just be like nodding out and stuff. It was amazing. They're like, "What's wrong with this guy?" I'm like, he's just really tired. He didn't get a lot of sleep."
He had a big day of selling cars.
Yeah, he'll be fine. Don't worry. You want that Maxima, right? Yeah, that's fine.
I like that they hired a heroin guy, but I think you'd hire a crackhead. They seem more aggressive and better for car sales.
You're forgetting the one thing. They don't care who they sell the car to. Like they may just take it and sell it to a pawn shop to go buy more crack. Not come back to the job.
Well, I figured they still have a paper trail.
I got a guy job once at a car dealership. I was working at a chain, and one place needed like a lot guy, so I got him. And I found out later he was taking cars like for the weekend. He would just take a plate and keys and come back later and take one and just joyride with it all like a brand new fucking Denali.
That's fun.
Yeah, it's a perk of the job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Till you get caught. We had a kid where I went to high school. When you were in 5th grade, all the feeder schools got a week alone at this sleepaway camp, and the juniors and seniors would go be counselors, and they'd like learn archery and canoeing and shit. And one of the teacher's kids went, and this was several years after I graduated, and OD'd on heroin in the cabin.
Yikes.
Like they resuscitated him. He was fine and everything. But like the program ended, and the next year it was just like a day camp.
OD'd meant dead.
No. You can survive an overdose.
Oh,
it just means like you might die if they don't hit you with Narcan.
You just had too much.
But the next year they made it a day camp, and the kid got to be a counselor again because his mom was a teacher and threw a hissy fit.
Oh.
And it's just
was
like,
he on heroin again?
What's the important message here? Is it that the kid gets to be a counselor, or maybe we stop doing heroin?
Why would you stop doing heroin? I mean, from what I hear, it's amazing.
I hear it's hard to stop.
Yeah, but if you're not good at it.
Is anyone good at it?
Yeah.
No one's good at it.
You'd
No
be
one's
surprised.
working a regular job on heroin.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you'd be surprised.
Oh, yeah. We have a real opioid.
Doing well.
There's a professor at Harvard who does it every night.
That guy is on Joe Rogan who knows how to take heroin right. Mm-hmm. That guy takes tiny bits.
Yeah. But still.
And he tells people on Joe Rogan he does heroin. He's letting everyone know I'm on heroin, so you don't expect a lot from that man.
Not to make this sad, but like I think what really happens is you get like a lot of 18, 19-year-olds with knee injuries or some type of athletic injury that gets prescribed an opioid and then gets addicted to it and doesn't know how to get off of it, so they go find the alternative. And then you do have people who are like all-American soccer players that are now working, at the best tech firms in the country on heroin every day because their doctor didn't know how to prescribe painkillers.
Wait, heroin is like those pain pills? Yeah,
like oxycodone is morphine. Essentially, it hits the same
morphine
receptor.
Is heroin?
Yeah, it's the same base. Like it would be the idea of like so a dab is like the condensed wax. It's super strong.
It's like what you're doing?
That would be like heroin.
You're doing heroin?
No. Heroin would be like edibles. Like it's the strongest.
What is this math? You're doing. I do edibles. That's not heroin.
But it's the strongest version of weed.
Comparison
it's the strongest version of weed.
Oh, you're doing a comparison thing. I thought you were just telling me that, hey, weed is heroin. I'm like, oh no, I did heroin.
No, you were asking how like painkillers.
Yeah, but I wasn't on board.
Heroin were the same. No. So I was explaining like so heroin would be like edibles. It's the strongest version.
I don't even understand that kind of shit. Put it this way, heroin's bad for you.
Okay, so if you
don't do heroin.
If you take one hit off of a joint, it gets you a little high, right?
Sure.
That would be like a low dose of hydrocodone. It's a version of it. Then you've got the dabs, which is stronger. Like one dab will get you super high. That's like opium. Then you've got heroin, which is like the strongest of the strong. It'll put you on your ass. So it all comes from the same plant. It's the same thing getting you high, but it's different versions.
That's crazy that people figure that shit out.
One thing about that is that opium was how it started, and there was a problem. So morphine was invented as a cure, and they said it was not addictive. And then after that, heroin was invented to cure people from morphine. And then after that, OxyContin was invented, and they said that was like this designer thing, and it's non-addictive. And yeah, they just keep saying that. Oh yeah, the next one, it's more powerful, but it's not addictive.
And like when he says there was a problem with opium, he means that China had this great flourishing country, arguably an empire, and then for several just centuries fought over who had the opium. Like dynasties came to an end fighting for heroin. Essentially,
because they were making money
opium,
off it, not
the purest version. But yeah. No, because they were that addicted to it. It's that addictive of a substance.
They love it.
Yeah, they needed the opium.
Asians?
And you know how hard you fight when you need opium? Yeah.
No, I don't.
Yeah, the opium wars.
Like if you're going through withdrawal, the only
wars,
things...
that's a thing?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
like
that's
a big thing.
Opium wars.
You didn't know about
the
this?
Europeans.
No, tell me about the opium wars.
Well, like Bobby was saying, for a couple hundred years, the Europeans had China. That's how they basically extracted China of all its wealth. was by trading them opium and controlling the opium trade. Oh yeah.
I thought they just made shit.
And now, see, that's the thing. Now China makes all of our stuff, but you think they forgot what our forefathers or whatever did to them? You know what I'm saying? So it's funny that they make the fentanyl now. The Europeans did, yeah.
But not us, not U.S.
The Irish were dealing with their own addictions, Pat. You don't have anything to worry about.
This is before the USA.
I'm not Irish. I'm from Connecticut. Fuck off.
The Connecticutans.
Yeah.
Yeah, this was before this was probably what, 1600s, 1700s, stuff like that. So
I got to be honest, my Eastern history isn't as good as my Western, and that probably shows my bias. But yeah, that seems about right.
If you were on heroin in the 1600s, that's fucking cool.
You're the fucking man.
Like, your life stunk. You didn't have phones or nothing. You couldn't even watch Disney Plus. I would do heroin.
That's why the emperors were just like, yeah, you know that thing that makes me not hate everything? Let me get some more of that.
Yeah, you know how
we're out. Let's go fight for it.
You know how Asian people, for a good time, just stand near a window and put their arms behind their back and stare? Like, they didn't have to do that because they were on heroin. Asian people love that.
That's how they tap into it now. That's why they're so calm.
Yeah, Asian people, and then what's his name from Narcos in every meme just stands in front of windows with his arm behind it. I'll do that sometimes. My daughter did that once, and I made fun of her. So like, she'll send me pictures of her. Just show someone a picture. She's just standing in front of a window, staring
just
out
sitting there. Yeah, I love that meme. That's so funny.
We got so far from the monks on meth, though.
I'm happy because we covered it before, so we don't really need a POS. I knew that would lead to this, and that was better. And I'm sure a lot of people are getting mad that I don't know anything, but fuck you, I don't know about the drug wars. I just watched the last Star Wars. I just caught up on that wars, and now I got the opium wars.
Now, one thing we didn't get into in the last episode specifically, because I knew we were going to have Brandon on, is a lot of these religions were established on ayahuasca.
I know of that because of Joe Rogan.
Yeah, but the point being, like, I think people are like, oh, drugs and religion, there's no crossover. And it's like, if you read the old stuff, there's a lot of crossover.
Listen, if you're going to tell me some man was told by something in the sky to put two of every animal on a boat, I'm like, drugs.
I'm like autism.
Yeah, but that's drugs.
Or autism.
The rain's coming. I got to put donkeys and whales in a boat. They're like, yo, enjoy
Moses talked to a burning bush. How clear do you have to be? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, but he just thought it was a fire sale because he was a Jew.
I'm still convinced Noah was just autistic. They didn't have trains at the time. What's the equivalent of a train in that era? A boat. He's upset. I'm gonna build a boat, and they're like, "Well, what are you gonna do with it?" I'm gonna put two of each animal in case we lose them.
I hope Noah called it a water train. Like, we got one of them water trains. Like, we don't have regular trains yet. What do we do?
So funny sidetrack about all that.
Gonna build a boat. Gonna be an awesome boat. Gonna be a bigger boat than any boat and everybody who's ever seen.
They don't have sidetracks, Brandon. There was no trains yet.
Boop, boop. There's I didn't think about that sidetrack.
Yeah, they couldn't say that. They had to say side boat back then.
It's funny side
thingy.
No, it was just
there's this content creator on YouTube. This guy basically spent like 20-something years in jail from like age 17 to 40 almost or something. And he read all these old books that were in the Texas prison system that had been there since like the 1800s. And he found this history that was really well known up until like they started taking it out of the books in the early 1900s. But there's a lot of evidence of the flood. Like it really happened, stuff like that. It's crazy. That's why
I think the flood happened. I just don't think the boat thing happened.
Oh yeah. No, well, the thing is, I don't think it was, and he even says this too. He doesn't think it was like a whole worldwide. He thinks it was probably just like the Mediterranean. There's a lot of evidence to suggest at one time the Mediterranean Sea didn't exist. It was just a bunch of lakes. And then where the Rock of Gibraltar is, there was kind of like a dam and it broke. And then all the water just came in and flooded it all out.
Interesting.
Did either one of you watch Jew, Ari Shafir yet?
Not yet.
I don't want to spoil anything, but like the last joke is Ari's take. If Brandon, you would like it because it's Ari who was trained, learning to be a rabbi and all this stuff, but then realized he didn't believe in God, then found drugs instead. And now he's done a whole stand-up special based on the Judaism and all that kind of stuff and compared to other religions. It's fucking incredible. It's the best thing he's ever done. It's on YouTube. It's so good.
Even rabbis have been like hitting him up. And like he said, the only comment he got from one that wasn't like, this is amazing, was like, hey, just so you know, his like factually, this one thing is a little different here. Let me help you with the joke. And the guy like called him like he was an he was like a teacher of people going to be rabbis and like sat on the phone for 30 minutes with them and helped to make the joke be factually accurate.
Yeah, he definitely did his research and knows his shit. But the story about Noah, but his wording of doing it is like, it's just incredible. So just watching it for that thing.
I'll have to check it out.
But
funny you say that, because that same guy, his name is Archaics, he talks about the creation of that Jewish religion, how basically there was like pieces just stolen from all these other older religions and books and stuff and kind of like put together. Yeah, it's pretty amazing.
It's pretty funny how, and he'll say like, the only difference between us and the Catholicism is that we don't have a superhero in ours. It's like, and that's what he said. Like, you see him get a little mad. He's like, sorry, we don't have a guy we don't have miracles. The one we had is like, that candle went a little longer than it should have.
Oh, you mean that guy your entire book's like, hey, this dude's going to come and then came and you killed? Yeah, you don't have any superheroes. I wonder why.
Yeah. Well, they had to kill somebody. They take so many L's.
Even them, they didn't actually kill it themselves.
Trade L's.
They manipulated the government into doing it. Wonder where I've heard that story. Team Ye.
Easy, Kanye. I don't think they own anything. They're nice people.
I mean, he's like, Jesus. They got Jesus.
I find their women attractive.
If he came out and made that argument, do you think more people would get behind him, though? If he was like, no, you can't tell me they don't control. Look what they did to Jesus, my boy Jesus.
Dude, did you see what Tom Segura bought Bert Kreischer?
I did, but I forget now. Please enlighten me.
So they were doing a thing back and forth like for birthday gifts, like spending just ridiculous amounts of money, like cars, all this crazy shit. So they decided not going to do that. Now they're just going to buy shit that's so insane that you have to almost give it back. And Segura's like, well, you know, you're a history buff, and he goes through a whole thing.
Oh yeah.
He found Hitler's teacup. It's 99% sure that Hitler drank out of this because Hitler's like right hand man. His wife was Hitler's like interior designer, and Hitler would hang out in his house all the time, and she would serve tea. And this is the teacup that was in that house. So it's like Hitler's teacup. And so Bert is like dying because he's like, holy shit, like I can't have this. My wife will not let this in the house. If people are gonna want to see it, can I see Hitler's teacup? And then Segura in fashion just goes, oh, and to go with it, I got you Yeezys.
Nice.
We do something similar. This year you got me a $10 Target gift card and I got you a $15 Popeyes gift card. So buying ridiculously expensive things for each other.
I traded mine for pure heroin. In Thailand, that's like so much heroin.
That's why when Jay-Z says this heroin's got less steps than Britney, it means that it ain't been stepped on. You dig me? It's because it's so white and pure.
Whoa, I didn't know what any of that meant.
Mm-hmm.
I thought he just couldn't say heroin. Heroin.
I think it rhymed better.
Oh no, he does that. He does that. He says a lot of shit there. Yeah. And there's when you watch him in Rick Rubin thing where he's just saying all these words wrong, and you're like, all right. Rick Rubin's like, good move. That's good. Rick Rubin just sits there, he's kind of like Brandon, and just goes, say that, not that. He's like, okay, $1 million.
Perfect.
$8 billion. Okay. Like with the System of Down song, where it's like, da-da, da-da-da-da-da. Like there was at the part where they're singing like that part there, they didn't know what to say.
Trust.
Right. So
in
my self-righteous suicide, that whole part there. There's a second part after that, and they had no words for it. So Rick Rubin just grabbed a book from like a library and just opened it, and they just sang a page. The words didn't even make sense to it, but it fit perfect. They'll just do that for now, but then they kept it. That's just him going, here, read a book. $1 billion. It is your best song ever. It's just so crazy. It's nuts. It's like
it's almost like there's a Jewish guy controlling music. Not that I think it is. I'm just saying.
Is Rick Rubin Jewish? Yeah, I guess so.
A little bit.
I almost said, did you forget the part where he runs music? Oh, but that would be the bad thing.
I love watching those type of people. Like I think on Clive Davis or like David Foster or the people that just like kind of create the music but just know how to put people in the right spots. But David Foster's documentary is fantastic because not only was he part of like the whole Whitney Houston bodyguard type thing with that amazing music, but he's the one that, and I know we'll hate him. You'll say, oh, I hate him because he did
No,
this,
I'll always love him.
Boom. He's the one who was like, Michael Bublé should be a thing. And he believed in him. And now they make billions of dollars off that. You know what I mean? Because like that's not there in recording places where like no one wants another Sinatra. Like, well, they do. So he did that. Celine Dion, he went to Canada and found her. She was just a local singer there. It's like, no, this could be the biggest thing ever. He had that kind of thing. But he also had kids.
I think with Celine Dion, it was a lost bet. Like the ugly girl in a movie where it's like, I bet you can't make her into the prom queen. And he was like, I bet you I could turn this big-nosed bitch into a singer.
Young Celine Dion was pretty. When she got older, she got real thin, and it just got weird on her face and body. Like she needed a little, with a thin face like that, she needed a little more meat. Not that she was like classically beautiful, but she had this look to her, and her voice so awesome. I was like, whatever. But like, I know what you're saying, but like he went and found her. But like the crazy part of watching this, two things he also did. Ready? This I love this documentary. One, womanizer beyond belief. Like he has all these daughters who they're all his daughters are beyond hot. They're like, because he's older, so like, they're blonde hot women he had with different people. Half the daughters barely know who he is, but they still, because he has this way of making everyone feel like he's such a genius, they all are like, oh no, that's what dad had to be. Dad couldn't be around for us at all. Whatever. Like, it's fine. He was a shit dad. And he's even like, yeah, the second I get close to somebody, I run away. He left for one woman when she had like 3 kids and one was like 7 months old. He's like, I'm out. Just got married to someone else right away. Crazy like that. But the best part, he was this every story that starts this way starts bad. You know, they say like, you know, is this racist? His story starts with, so I was recording with Michael Bolton. So he finishes up. They're supposed to be done at midnight, but Michael Bolton's like, no, we got to get some more songs in. Like, all right, Bolton. So about 2:30 in the morning, David Foster is leaving. He's driving. Better was David Frost. But David Foster is driving his car, and he's tired and sleepy, whatever, and he's speeding, kind of like Doctor Strange in a way, I guess. The windy roads in L.A. And he sees something pop up. He doesn't know what it is, and he can't hit the brakes in time. There was a man waving his arms, and he fucking runs over the man. Right, and then all of a sudden he calls the fucking police. Like, oh my god, I killed a guy, whatever. That man was Ben Vereen. Ben Vereen is like a world famous tap dancer, and also if you ever watched the show Webster, he was his uncle. But Ben Vereen's like a world famous dance guy, very famous for all that shit. He ran over Ben Vereen. Ben Vereen didn't die, but they thought he was gonna die. But when they found him and they did all these tests, they realized Ben Vereen was going to die anyway because he had this brain embolism that had him on the road walking like that. If he wasn't hit by the car and then they died and everyone came and got him, they wouldn't have found this thing and he would have died anyway. So getting hit by the car and almost paralyzed weirdly saved his life. So a couple months later, Ben Vereen gets David Foster's number. They don't know each other. And he just texts him without his name on it and just goes, well, he's like, who's this? He goes, part of the best hit you ever put out there. So, and even that, and Ben Vereen's like, I got to thank this guy. I'm like, even you're thanking this guy? He ran you over the car. Good documentary. Check that one out. David Foster.
That's crazy.
Madness. I love watching shit like that. I like now that back in the day, documentaries are always like, they just gave you the good. But I like now they're like, we got to find some dirt. Remember when he ran over Ben Vereen? Like, yeah.
And they're like, hey, he's like whispering, hey, Ben, if you make it through this, you can meet Shirley Temple.
No, only if you don't make it through this, you meet Shirley Temple. She's dead.
He wasn't the one who did that movie with her?
No.
Oh.
David Foster? No. Ben Vereen? No.
The dancer?
Ben Vereen's black.
Yeah.
Fred Astaire?
I'm pretty sure. Hang on one second. Let me look this up.
You can't. You might be right. Shirley Temple wasn't dancing with black people too often. It was white people with blackface. I think you're thinking Al Jolson.
Al Jolson. Wow.
On the good ship, lollipop, it's sweet, trip to the candy shop. Where did something
What if like
play?
all the monks over there are just on meth? You know, like
I think all monks are on meth. We're saying that. Like, if you told me no women, wear a dress, get food from the village, I'm like, yeah, drugs.
Yeah, why not? Right?
We were on the last podcast. We were saying like, Bobby was saying like, some of them think they can do like energy through their hands and shit. You got to be on drugs to be like, yeah, I got power.
You ever see that video where the guy starts a fire with his hands?
No. There's a guy. It's like for real, or is it like fucking fake?
I think it's pretty real. And then after that, the guy, I guess all this bad stuff happened because he wasn't there's these powers that people have when they raise their consciousness. They're called siddhis, SIDI.
Right.
And so there's people that could perform them, but they'll never do them in front of a bunch of people that are not supposed to or whatever because of certain reasons. And I guess after he did it, all this stuff happened. But yeah, it's pretty crazy. I'll try to find it and send it to you.
Nice.
Or maybe we can even play it if I find it. But yeah, he's just like in the fucking thing. And I mean, if it was newer, I'd say maybe it's fake, but it looks like it was in the 80s, you know? So
yeah, they were bad at faking shit then. Was he the one that lit Michael Jackson's head on fire?
I think it was. No, that was
Bobby,
Pepsi.
you figure it out?
Yeah, I think I confused two stories. Hang on one second.
No worries. Ben Vereen, though, do you remember that show Webster, Brandon?
Yeah.
So it was, obviously it wasn't Dick Buckus, his white parents, or Ma'am, but he'd have that uncle that would take him sometimes and like show him a good time, and then George had to be like, "Hey, take it easy, you're taking him away from us." That was Ben Vereen, but he's not known for that, but that's what I've always known for him for. No, it's not Gregory Hines. That's the most famous of the dancing. He's a tap dancing guy, Ben Vereen.
So I confused two stories. So one was Shirley Temple did do the dance number on the stairs with an African American at the time,
Right.
and it was a big deal. It wasn't Ben Vereen.
No, he's not old enough.
He was on the Carol Burnett show.
Yeah.
And she got yelled at for having
Ben
on too
Vereen
much.
on the show.
Yeah, and she like had him on the next episode. That's the story I was mixing
Yeah,
up
he's
there.
like very Ben Vereen.
Yeah.
He's
I get what
so
you're saying. He's very Vereen.
Yeah, he is.
He's got that
Vereen
Vereen
Life
sheen
Aquarium.
on him.
Hoo-ah, the Vereens.
You the proud.
The Marine Corps.
The Vereen.
They should be that. If you're not a tap dancing family called the Vereen Corps, fuck you. You know what I mean? You should be doing that.
God, there's going to be a dance improv group that goes by that name now because of this podcast.
What do you mean there is? You know there already is one.
That's
You
true.
know if there's a Jabberwockies, there's a Vereen Corps. You know what I mean? Like, that's out there.
All right, I know we're really attached to the Vereen Corps, but have you considered Blue Man Group?
How about
Why would they call us that? Well, you haven't heard the second part of my plan.
Because he blew a man, so we're the Blue Man.
Don't worry, people won't care about the name.
They're going to think we're gay. No, they won't. Is that paint?
Paint makes everything straight. That's the rules.
Them's
All
the
right.
rules.
You ready for your next story?
Yeah.
This is the story that Mike O'Donnell wanted to do.
And this
We
is
didn't
because
have
you're a
time
bad
to.
guest, Brandon.
No, he's making it fun in between. It's great. DJ Kaled is letting you stay in his shoe closet for $11 a night on Airbnb. It says "We the best" on the ground, Bobby. Just so you know,
We
in
the
shoe
best.
closet. Yeah, there's a bed and a ton of shoes. If the shoe fits, stay right inside of it.
Boo.
Makes sense. That doesn't make sense. DJ Kaled is unlocking one of the most treasured rooms, his shoe closet. The hip-hop mogul is inviting fans to cop an exclusive stay inside a recreation of his legendary sneaker closet in Miami. Bookable on Airbnb.
I think that's a recreation.
It definitely is.
Do you think in the morning when he wants to kick people out, he's like, shoo, shoo. And he hits him with like a fly swatter.
You know how many words I say wrong? I'm very happy you did that one.
That
There's
one
so
was
many
important
words
to
that
the
I read wrong.
context of the story. Normally, I just let it go, but I thought people might actually not understand what was going on if I let that one slide.
Oh, I was like, I know he's right. Why am I looking? I'm like, just make sure they didn't spell it wrong. Maybe they wrote it wrong.
In your defense, that could be his new slang. Yo, build me a recreation.
Well, shoes, rec center, you never know.
Yeah.
Sneakerheads, fans, and people looking for a sunny escape can reserve 2 one-night stays occurring on December 5th and 6th for 2 guests each at only $11 a night. They can request to book the stays beginning November 29th at 1 p.m. So you missed it, everybody. Sorry. That wasn't up. Guests are responsible for their own travel to and from Miami. Like we thought the flight was included in the $11 to stay in a closet. Well, where is it? It's a lot of stuff going on here. Oh, you got everything. You stay in the closet, but you also get to use his pool and shit. A self-proclaimed sneakerhead from birth, DJ Kaled's Airbnb will offer an exclusive pair of We the Best Air Jordan 5s, a handwritten welcome note from DJ Kaled upon arrival, the keys to the ultimate sneaker kingdom, sleeping amid hundreds of pairs, including DJ Kaled's prize kicks, including the Jordan 3 Grateful and Jordan 8 Oregon PEs. An outdoor lounge to kick back and soak in the Miami vibes after a dip in the pool. A chance to enjoy some of DJ Kaled's favorite spots in Miami, like a catered dinner from his restaurant, The Licking. Ew, it's called The Licking. I didn't read that wrong. Licking.
Good luck convincing your girl to go there.
You want to get the licking?
Actually, no, that would be the worst thing for me. She'd be like, "You're taking me to a licking tonight?" And be like, "I want to be clear, that's the name of the restaurant, not anything I'm going to do in a sneaker closet."
Oh. A private shopping session at Miami's premier sneaker store, 305 Kicks, and more. Sneakers are an essential part of hip-hop culture, and collecting them is an art, just like creating music, DJ Kaled said in the statement. We bring the same passion and energy to the shoe game as we do to the studio. That's why we're excited to share our sneaker kingdom with fans and give them a chance to walk in our shoes. Literally. Who's the piece of shit in this story? Is it DJ Kaled for saying, people would like to sleep in my closet? I should charge them. But they can only do it on December 5th and 6th. Those are the 2 days I will let people sleep in my closet and go to my restaurant and look at my shoes. Why can't I do whatever I want in Miami? Why do I have to go to your restaurant? I'm vacationing for $11. I can't afford your restaurant. I'm poor. I'm staying in a closet. I can stay in a room. How much does it cost to stay in one of your rooms? You have a giant home. So is it him? Is it people that would do that? They're like, fuck yeah. Besides, listen, if you're on drugs, I get it. Let's get high and go rent out DJ Kaled's shoe closet and sleep in there. That's insane. That sounds fun for a minute. Even if you're a sneakerhead, what do you're in a room. Are you allowed to go around the rest of the house, or are you confined to the sneaker closet? It's a big ass room. It's bigger than probably all of our bedrooms. It's a giant fucking closet. It's not really a closet. It's like a master bedroom, but with shoes in it. The whole wall. It looks like one of those libraries, like in like the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, but like with sneakers in it. So that's insane there. But like, why would you do that? Is it anyone? Is it Airbnbs for saying okay? Like I don't know how that really works, but I think you have to register with an Airbnb committee, whatever, to say like, oh, we're putting this on the market, whatever. And then they're like, what? DJ Kaled's like, yeah, my closet, $11, 2 days, make it happen. They're like, you can't put people in a closet. It's a great closet. Like, yeah, but that's insane. What's this, Harry Potter's old parents? You can't put people in a closet. Or the person who wrote this article, it's not news, but it's better news than most news stories we do. It's not the worst thing in the world. Who's the piece of shit in the story? Brandon, go first.
I'd have to say the publicist, whoever thought of that this was a great idea.
You think DJ Kaled even knows it's happening? Probably
not. I mean, maybe they have to tell him so he can promote it and stuff like that. But, you know, somebody was standing around. It's like if you're going to try to be a publicist and get some eyes and attention, you know, how lazy are you to be like, oh, we could just make people stay in his closet for $11? I mean, come on.
I don't even understand the $11 part.
You know, you're making anybody think that they could just go stay in this fucking room. And now think about it. If it sounds like a good idea, but then you stay there for 2 nights and then you're just saying to yourself, like, what the fuck am I doing with my life? This guy has a room bigger than my house for fucking shoes, you know?
Well, yeah. And also, like, so you spend the money and you go do it, but is that what your whole vacation is? Just like, I'm gonna fly myself out and I'm just gonna stay in a closet. Like, you're going for the closet. Like, it's not like you're not gonna fuck in his closet. Like, I'm guessing security's up the yin yang because it's the whole house. So I'm guessing you're not like allowed to go roam around because they've probably got 20 bedrooms. Why wouldn't I just sleep in another room?
So
there's got to be a camera in there.
It's a recreation, so I bet it's outside.
Shut up.
Like, no, but I mean, like, I think it's seriously outside of the house.
Of my reading again.
No. So, like, I'm guessing it has its own bathroom and probably a bed built in as well. Like,
there's a bed there.
So, and probably a bathroom. He's not letting you piss in his $20,000 toilets.
Oh yeah, Bob. It's Brandon. We just did a story on that. Actually, obviously, you know, the toilet thing just happened yesterday. So
oh, shit.
This was before that. So, but Drake bought DJ Kaled $20,000 toilets for his birthday. They got night lights, they got fucking sensors, and DJ Kaled is very excited. Like, he's the most excited he's ever been because he got toilets for his birthday. 20,000.
Does it have a microphone on it too? So when he's taking a shit, he could be like, DJ Kaled.
He doesn't take shits. Bobby, what does he take?
Theories.
No, theory.
I got to take a theory.
Yeah, he said he calls them theories. Not
Theories.
shits. Yep, they're theories, which I like a lot. I
We're
said it won't
adopting
stick,
that
but now
slang.
I'm thinking about, I think it's going to stick. I think saying I'm taking a theory, I got to take a theory. I'm doing a theory right now. That's fucking tremendous in so many ways. So
What's the theory behind it?
it's behind is making the theory. But
Ooh.
yeah. Bobby,
I don't see a piece of shit in this story.
make one up.
No, hang on. Let me explain why. I think it's people who look at this and they're like, oh, that's a stupid idea. And here's why. Like, it's him giving people an opportunity to live like a star for a weekend. Like, yes, it's $11 to sleep in a closet, but like we said, it's not a closet. He built a bed. It's going to be a nice area. You get a pair of at least $200, if not at least like somewhere probably closer to $500 sneakers. You get a premier shopping event, which is going to let you get more sneakers at the nicest villa in Miami. And like you get catered to his restaurant. I think a lot of people are doing these things like a charity thing. So you have to pay the $11 regardless of if you win or not. And then the money goes towards some charity. But like that's been DJ Khaled's whole thing on like social media and his like public persona. When he was first like getting big on Snapchat, the guy he brought in was like one of these sneaker resellers he would go to, who was just like a young kid who had like 1,000 YouTube subscribers. And he was just like, I like this kid, so I'm going to highlight him. And he brought him in and showed him off the closet. And that's where the catchphrase, how's business? It's booming. Like, that's where it came from. So I think it's him just kind of giving people an opportunity to, like, I think he realizes how blessed he is. I know it's become a meme how much he says it and everything, but I think it's him being like, hey, not everybody gets to live like this. Let's make a little money for charity, and I'll give some people a taste of the good life.
Understandable. I sent you the picture. If you can share that, I sent you the picture of the room. And then I sent you another picture where we're going to share at the end for our plugs are. But I understand what you're saying. And I do think he's one of the few people that I do think gets a real bum rap for being seems to be like a genuine guy that really does feel lucky for everything that he's gotten in life. And I understand that. But this one article here, I kind of lean with Brandon because I do feel like it's something a publicist is doing, because all the statements I read felt like statements he would make about when he's doing his sneaker shit and talking about it didn't feel like he was talking about the room or the experience. He was talking about, so it's kind of like, I think maybe someone's in charge of the house and kind of do it. He's probably like, yeah, go ahead, do some shit. Like, now you see the room there. It's not terrible.
No.
But I wouldn't want to stay there.
But if
I feel like a child.
If it was a room full of memorabilia for comedians or something that you, or some subject you
I'm
held.
not that kind of, it's just not me. I'm not saying people wouldn't. That's not me. I'd rather stay in a nice hotel room
and go to the museum. I'm with you.
And then go check shit out. I don't want, because listen, as much as I want to look at that, I'm looking at it for an hour. And then I'm like, all right, I did it.
Oh, I know who my piece of shit is. It's the gangsters who win this and just rob him blind in the middle of the night.
I'm sure you got to qualify. It's the guy who pays for it in Doge.
Yeah.
I just don't feel like he really has anything to do with it. I think he's become such a thing that house is probably not even his house.
He probably
the way
doesn't
they're
live
saying
there.
that, it's probably almost like it's a home that other celebrities probably stay at, or the people he's producing that aren't big yet stay at. And like, that's a room everyone thinks is cool as fuck. Like,
And they're renovating his closet, and he's like, what if we just put it out here for now and sell it?
Did you guys, either one of you, see the movie Nope?
No.
You said nope?
Nope.
No, I have not.
That's the biography about Leslie Knope, the Parks and Rec coordinator from Indiana, made it to the U.S. Senate.
The fictional person. I'm not going to spoil it, even though it's kind of new or whatever. But at one point, there's a guy in this story who was a child actor, and now he runs like this like amusement park place. And in his office, someone notices a picture, like he used to be in this movie, a TV show when he was a kid, the sitcom, and he goes, "Oh, you like that?" So he pushes the thing on the wall, it opens up, and inside there he has a museum, like a small thing to that TV show.
That's pretty sick.
Even he says in the joke in the thing, he goes, a couple one time paid me $50,000 to sleep here because they were such fans of the show, so we let them do it, but we don't really open it to the public anymore. So even in a movie, they're kind of making fun of a joke like that. There are certain people that would do that, but when I go away somewhere, I'm not a haunted house guy. I'm not a fucking obsessed with one type of person or thing type person. There's nowhere I'd want to stay like that. Even when I've stayed at like some comedy shows, they'll be like, "Oh, you stay in a bed and breakfast type place, and you stay upstairs, but you perform down the stairs at night." And I'm like, "Can I just stay somewhere else? I don't want to
be here."
Bed and breakfasts aren't usually a good time because usually they make it so like if there is a TV, it stinks. The Wi-Fi is awful. I can't just enjoy myself. I don't want to pretend like I'm churning butter and shit. Like I'm sure Wi-Fi's there, but like, what do you do? Like anything you're doing that's not shoe involved, you almost feel like you wasted your time. You know what I'm saying?
I do know exactly what you're saying then, yeah. Like
so,
you feel like every second of your vacation
head,
has to be about it.
Are you allowed to touch them?
Probably not.
Or put them on? Or is there someone watching you? And maybe you don't really stay in that room. Maybe they're like, "Hey, we're saying that, but you stay down the hall. You can visit the room whenever you want." Because for 11, I know he has so much money, it doesn't matter. And I probably had to charge something. But you're almost better off if he gave this away to two people that like did like, I recognize two people that did amazing things. They're sneakerheads, but they donated money to whatever, or just two kids that were like sick or whatever, or just big basketball. He had an NBA thing. They drew names out of a hat.
Yeah,
two people won it, but to pay $11, it's just weird. It feels like it's phony. It feels like maybe they thought this is better press he needed.
That's why I was thinking charity angle, because like the $11 is weird. Just do like a grand sweepstakes or something. So that's why I thought maybe a charity angle.
Didn't have to go to his restaurant called The Licking. I don't want feet and licking at all in a combo.
It's a throat cancer fundraiser. He's like, "This is how you get it. So you got to go to my restaurant, The Licking, to understand."
Another one.
They're like, "Listen, you could sniff the sneakers, just don't touch them."
Yeah, you can huff the shoe. Now, Bobby, you're a sneaker guy, kind of, right?
Kind of. Not
when I said the names of those sneakers, did that matter to you?
I'm not that much of a sneaker guy.
All right.
Like I like sneakers that look
with
cool.
his name on it, so I don't care about that.
Are there any moon boots in there? Those Kanye shoes, or do they get rid of them all?
Well, I don't think does that count as sneakers? I know there's shoes. What do you got? Is that good? That looks like Matchbox cars.
Yeah, no, and it's like it's got rips in it. Intentionally, it's supposed to be retro. I think it's cool, but it's like $50. So that's how I'm a sneaker guy. I look at them and go, "Oh, those are cool shoes."
Now, isn't $50 inexpensive for?
Yeah,
sneakers?
they're not nice shoes, is what I'm saying.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
Like
I don't buy anything with money.
Yeah.
I buy like $20 at Marshall's, whatever, until I burn a hole in it, and I buy other ones. I don't give a shit.
I got into sneakers at a time where I was pushing 300 pounds, and what's nice about sneakers is they look good on you, no matter what. You know what I mean? Like
I've never cared about that. A lot of people do, but I've never looked at anyone's shoes or their feet or whatever. Even when they're on stage, I might notice sneaker for the first time in a comic. But like some people be like, "Yo, man, you think you'd have better shoes on?" I'm like, never thought about it. I wasn't raised that way. We didn't have money. I never thought shoes were just something you had to wear. It wasn't
me neither. What I'm saying is, I got to a point where I was so bad that it was like I don't look like how I look in anything, from shirts to hoodies to pants, but these shoes will look good. So I picked shoes that I thought made me look cool, not like $5,000 shoes, if that makes any sense. Like I wouldn't get in line online. I'd just go to the clearance store and be like, "Oh, those are sick."
Brandon, were you ever into sneakers at one point? Because you were like a DJ guy, so you had to have a sweet look at points and shit.
Yeah, I was even. I used to be into Adidas a lot. I like the shell toes, or all those. I used to have a ton of different shoes. But these days I just go more for functionality. You know, stuff I could like hike in, or stuff that's comfortable.
Brandon in his car at any time could have 20 pairs of shoes. Like,
yeah, I'm like Mr. Rogers.
Driving shoes, walking around shoes, hiking shoes, the toed things for swimming.
Me too. My car's in the shop this week, so I had to get a rental car and like pull all the shit I needed out, and it was like 6 pairs of shoes. I was like, "This is embarrassing."
I own 2 pairs of shoes. And I don't wear one of them.
And back in his day, Brandon, he had to walk uphill 3 miles in the snow both ways to school.
Back in my day, that's what I do now. I don't drive, you assholes. I walk in the snow all the time.
Uphill both ways.
Back in the day, I'm the opposite. Back in my day, I actually could drive and I would get places faster and not be cold.
You know where it's going to be cold, but the jokes are going to be fiery.
Ooh.
So, Bobby, you got anything? Because if not, I think we might call this one pretty quick.
I think we got it.
We did it, but it's always fun to have
We
Brandon
done did it with Brandon.
If you haven't checked out the episode yet, where Brandon's on, Bobby's on Brandon's podcast, go. What's the name of the site? Is Brandon? You're not Brandon Bonanza on there. Is that what it is? YouTube?
Brandon Bonanza on YouTube. Yep.
Yes.
But you can just go to my website, morelawsmoreproblems.com, and all the links are right there. So yeah,
that was a fun one. We got to do it again soon. Talk about Zoroastrianism.
Yeah, that was really fun. That was a really good one. And also check out my other show, The Over Sharon Show. It could be found in the same places with me and my friend Sharon. Where
You're doing a lot of live ones with that now, right?
What's that?
You're doing a lot of live ones now.
Yeah, I do a lot of live of my own. On like Mondays or Tuesdays, you can usually catch me live around 8 o'clock, but it just depends on the person's schedule. I don't
But
really
with her, you don't do live?
Once in a while we do a live one. It's just easier with guests to pre-record because she's in Phoenix and our guests are all over the place. We're talking to somebody soon that's like in Mexico, so it's weird to try to line it all up, but yeah.
I went from Phoenix,
Arizona. You don't want to talk to
Arizona,
Mexicans. They're all Mexican.
all the way to Tacoma, Philadelphia,
What kind of drugs they got in
Atlanta,
Mexico?
LA.
They got good heroin in Mexico?
Oh yeah, I'm sure they got mules down there. I heard.
Not
Drum
pure. You ever see that movie
probably.
Mule with Clint Eastwood?
No.
I keep wanting to watch it and I haven't.
I haven't yet.
But all right, we did it. Bobby, this is where you do your credits.
Oh, check out the Davey Max Sports program. Check out our
share our thing
POS
while you're talking?
Patreon. And I've got it on our screen now, Pat, and I'll share it to the Zoom in a second.
That's right.
Check out this. Yeah. There it is.
There it is.
New
New
Year's
Year's Eve, bitches. Me, Bobby, Timothy Lovett in Florence, Massachusetts. It's actually the most exciting place to have New Year's Eve. I know a lot of people think Australia, then you fly to New York and you do it twice. No, Florence, not Italy, Massachusetts. You go there for $50. You get champagne, you get dinner, you get Bobby, you get me, you get Timothy, you get a DJ. It's fucking sweet. Come on out. It's 8 o'clock. It'll be a good time, and you still get home in time for your balls to drop, whatever the dumb joke is, in Waka Waka. But
Pat
it's
and I
gonna
will
be a lot of fun.
be getting electrocuted putting his new stove hood up at midnight.
Western Massachusetts. If you're in that area at all, come on out, see us. It's going to be a lot of fun. And if you want to see me and Bobby again, after that, come to the album recording. February 17th and 18th at City Steam. One show each night, recording my
Get
new
your
album.
tickets. They're moving.
They are moving, and I'd like them to be done moving. I would like them all to be done moving before 2023. That's not a thing, but that would be great if that was the case. It's for your recreation or recreation, whichever one you want. So buy your tickets now. Come out and support that. I'm very happy with this new hour. I'm excited about it. Speaking, side note real quick, I've been, on Instagram, you can do stories and you can put music behind the stories. So like
Yes.
you see like I put flyers to put a thing. Yesterday, it occurred to me that I could play my own bits because I have albums. And I forgot I was on there. So I was like, Spotify has this thing through a thing called Insta app. And if you go to Insta app and you click it, it'll take all the songs you listen to on Spotify and make a fake 3-day festival. Mine is insane. Like the shit I listen to is fucking insane. It's all over the place. But it makes like a 3-day festival of all this. Young Gravy's my number one guy though, of course. But it's all on there. But yes, you call it ego if you want. I like me some me. I'm on my festivals. So I listen to me enough. But sometimes I'm actually listening because I forget an old joke and I want to try to do it again. But a lot of times, yeah, I do listen. I like my shit.
No, I use YouTube Music instead of Spotify, which is probably a good thing because YouTube's gotten to the point where I'll make a playlist and it will insert songs that are happy in between. Like, hey, man, nobody listens to these songs back to back without being in a bad place. We need to cheer you the fuck up.
Yeah, YouTube's got your back. Spotify don't care if you die. They don't give a fuck. They'll make you they'll make you at the end of the year. Hey, Bobby, we noticed you wanted to kill yourself. here's the ultimate playlist, so you don't make it in 2023.
He's got Sylvia's mother followed by He Stopped Loving Her Today.
So much REM, so little time. That's what he's got on this thing right here. It is nice. But yeah, I went on there and I did that thing. So I was sharing the flyer with my name. I'm like, oh, I should do jokes of my own. So I've been playing myself underneath it.
That's
so
amazing.
If you want to hear me like me, there you go. Come out and see that album recording this weekend. So we'll put it out to Twitter. So Friday, I will be in Warren, Rhode Island at the Galactic Theater. And all I've heard about the place is they have really great grilled cheese. Like 8 different people have told me how good their grilled cheese is. And someone said it's so good. And the guy has a technique where the bread never squishes. And that sounds like it's not real. I'm going to have to try it for that fucking thing. But Dan Brown will be with me. It'll be a fun show. We'll do that one Saturday. It's already sold out, but I'm doing the show for the fallen police officers in Bristol, which we made a joke about before, which we'll never will again. Bobby started laughing, so I'm laughing. Fuck you. The following one, Sunday, December 10th, whatever that Sunday is, the 11th. I will be headlining at Comics Roadhouse again. I'll be headlining Mo Musa and Matt Lope's openings. That'll be a lot of fun. Check that out. A lot of great shows coming up. I put flyers on my Facebook, so check that out there. And we appreciate it, guys listening. Brandon, thank you so much for being on the show. It's always
thank you,
fun
guys.
to chat with you.
A pleasure as always.
Oh, pleasure, Bobby.
If you can't join and beat him, and don't be a piece of shit.
Heroin.